Well, hello, my friends. Welcome to me, your host, Christian Watson. Before I begin this commentary, because you guys probably see the title and you see what's on my screen right now, allow me to preface it with one forewarning. This commentary is not meant and should not be construed to mean a desire to enact government policy onto a particular product or a particular artist's expression. As a libertarian, I believe that all expression that does not promote explicit violence against a particular person should be allowed in a free society. But guess what? I also believe that I have the right to criticize expression that I find tasteless, contradictory, and unsound. Hence, the subject of this video. Dear Lil Nas X, listen, I understand you just came into a new sort of burst of fame. And guess what, Lil Nas X? Your story as a young man who before his artistry was successful was sleeping on the couches of his relatives, penniless, going down just down the road from me to the University of West Georgia, trying to get by in life. Your story, my friend, is nothing more than a wondrous attestment to the fruits of the Anglo-American experiment, to the fruits of the country that you now live in, that you critique through your music. It is nothing more than the culmination of the American dream that is your birthright given your liberty. And in fact, Lil Nas X, I see a lot of myself in you. I'm an artist right now doing these videos, doing political commentary, trying to make it. And the fact that you succeeded gives me hope, even though we're doing very different things. But this right here on the other side of my screen, Lil Nas X, this right here is an attempt to be as outrageous and profane as possible while saying nothing. This is not the kind of profanity that Thomas Paine had when he wrote Rights of Men against Edmund Burke's against the earlier struggles of the French Revolution before they devolved into chaos. This is not the kind of profanity that Socrates had in the agoras of ancient Greece, trying to fight to make sure the youth were being critical in their thinking and not blindly accepting cultural mores. No. This is a profanity that has certain assumptions built into it, into of itself, but yet completes nothing, and yet is utterly impotent. Nah, you know what I'm talking about, buddy. I'm talking about your newest song, Montero, Call Me By Your Name. Now, you released Montero on March 26th. That's when it premiered. You made this tweet, because when the video first came out, and Nosh, you know, the video was full of a bunch of religious iconography juxtaposed against lewd acts, against profane acts, which in my opinion disrespect the religious iconography. And makes absolutely no point beyond the one depicted in this image. So 2 days, right before you released Montero, this was actually written on the 24th. He put it up on the 26th. It was written you say, Nas, I wrote a song with our name in it. It's about a guy I met last summer. I know we promised to never come out publicly. I know we would never be that kind of gay person. And he basically just talks to this sort of idea that he was scared about sexuality. And this song is a sort of sticking it to the man to be who he wants to be. Now, there's a few problems with this, Nas. Of course you know this. Number one, who you are is who you are. You should not be trying to outrage people to affirm who you are. If you think you need to outrage people to affirm who you are, then Lil Nas X, I got some news for you. You're not being who you are. You're creating an image in the public mind and being that. And that itself comes with certain benefits. But the drawback, the permanent drawback that forestalls all of those benefits is the fact that you're actually losing yourself. In the video Montero, you depict yourself giving lap dances to Satan. And right before that, you depict yourself falling from heaven. And what you're trying to do, Lil Nas X, you're trying to say that many Christians believe gays are going to hell. So, you know what? Let me embrace the idea that I'm going to go to hell because I'm going to be myself. Now, Lil Nas X, I don't want to challenge your artistic credibility here, but there are plenty ways to disagree with the sentiment that you cannot be gay or a Christian, or that gays are going to go to hell according to Christian theology. There is a debate going on in Christian theology about this very idea. You could contribute to the debate in a way that is not destabilizing and debilitating to your own image. But instead, you weigh who you are against society, and that is where your entire message fails. Emerson says that it's not about who you are according to society, it's about how much of yourself you can maintain against the pressures of society, and you don't need a public spectacle to do that. You don't need a public spectacle to maintain yourself. But then, right after that, you announce the release of a footwear, an infernal footwear, which includes a drop of human blood, a pentagram, and a chapter from Luke 10:18, which says that Satan fell like lightning from heaven. Now, Lil Nas X, that particular chapter, that particular verse, there's a verse in Luke 10:17 that kind of contextualizes it. It says, "Lord, even the demons are subject to us in your name." And then right after that verse, Lil Nas X says, "Behold, I have given you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall hurt you. Nevertheless, do not rejoice in this, that the spirits are subject to you, but rejoice that your names are written in heaven." Lil Nas X, you just took a scripture that confers upon the people of heaven, that confers upon the people of God, the ability to trample upon not just demonic evils, but every evil that exists in this world, to promote a satanic agenda. How contradictory is that? How unsound is that? And then when Kristi Noem takes issue with you, when Mark Burns takes issue with you, when a pastor calls you out in his pulpit, you mock him and say, "Oh, you're a pastor and you're worried about a shoe." And there have been arguments against this shoe that I think aren't convincing. Yeah, children are important, but let's not moralize to say, think of the children. There are children who are doing much worse things than wearing a very decrepit shoe. No. This is about being, again, as unsound as possible in your artistry. What does the only thing this does is cause controversy. 10 years on the line, who will be thinking about the satanic shoe from Lil Nas X with his demonic contacts in? Who will be thinking about that? A limited edition shoe that has blood in it. Who will be thinking about that? Not only who will be thinking about it, but primarily, what is the effect of all of this? Lil Nas X, you're trying to be a contrarian. You're trying to show that you're different. But you're showing that you're different in a way that contradicts the clear aim of your song, number one. You're showing that you're different in a way that is sacrilegious, and that it doesn't even understand the very principles of the religion it's making a commentary on. You don't even understand that Luke is actually against this kind of stuff. Luke is actually saying, no, I have power over 666. I have power over this kind of stuff. And number three, you're weighing yourself against society, not weighing yourself against your own standards. Lil Nas X, if you want to really teach people how to be the best person they are, forget these obscenities. Stop trying to be a satanic contrarian and actually just go on and do your artistry in a manner that does not require the approval or the derision of people to be relevant, but in a manner that is so profound and so compelling that it by itself, independent of controversy, can exist, and it can exist compellingly, Lil Nas X. But I'm afraid the more you do these stunts, the more you have people sell shoes and buy shoes with blood in them, the more you do this kind of stuff, my friend, the less compelling you become, and the more needlessly contrarian you become. And if you're needlessly contrarian, then your own goals of trying to inspire other people to be who they want to be, well, they're going to fail. And this will simply be known as an attempt at manufactured outrage, rather than an attempt to bring attention to very serious issues that relate with theology and social being, and very serious issues that relate to the nature of evil. There's philosophy baked into all of this, Lil Nas X. But instead of focusing on the deeper questions of existence, You're focusing on the sterile, shallow stuff of attention. And that, my friend, is why this effort that you're doing right here will ultimately be a failure in the production of knowledge. I hope you reconsider what you are doing. Think on it. Lil Nas X is gone. As always, my friends, I'm talking to you now. As always, my friends, I love you. And please, if you want to support my work, support me on patreon.com/officialcwatson. But otherwise, my friends, I love you. And please stay pensive. Bye-bye.